welcome to sunny London. So many people have been asking me what's happening with SCUBE 3. So in this video I'm going to tell you the latest that I have, plus more importantly when I think SCUBE 3 might be on the market. Keep watching. So let's recap where we are. So as you know, SCUBE 3 was discovered a couple of years ago, and the guy who discovered it formed a company called Amplifica, I think late 2022 or maybe early 2023, for obvious reasons, because I think the discovery was under the University of California or something like that. I mean, universities don't really discover drugs or develop drugs, so they had to form a company or give it to another company, like a big company like Pfizer. So they formed their own company called Amplifica, and on the board of that company is actually a very famous hair transplant guy called William Rasman, and you can see it on the website here. And in June 2023, so just over a year ago, Amplifica announced that they've started preclinical trials. So what are preclinical trials? They are basically, you're not even testing the candidate drug on anybody. You are just establishing if it's safe and effective. And back in June 2023, they announced they expect the results of this first phase of preclinical trials to be available in the first quarter of 2024. So the first, is that 3 months? Yeah, the first 3 months of 2024. So they are kind of slightly behind schedule. By the way, there's so many people that, to be honest, they have no clue how pharmaceutical development works. They really think pharmaceutical development is like everything else on social media, where you press a button and the drug or the product is on the shelves. It doesn't work like that. On average, it takes 15 years to develop a drug, because you have to go through different stages. So calling something, just because SCUBE 3 is not on the shelves within 1 year or 2 years, people are calling it a scam. Ridiculous. Are kind of behind schedule. What could be the reason for this? Number one, it could be just because they anticipated, or basically they underestimated the amount of work needed, and they're just running a month or two behind the schedule, which is quite normal. Or more seriously, it could be that they've experienced a major hurdle and the whole thing is in trouble, and that's the reason for the delay. I don't know which one it is, but I think by August, or maybe July or August, we will know. They'll have to make an announcement whether things are on track or whether things have fallen by the wayside. By the way, I'm by the River Thames, so this is the River Thames behind me in West London. So assuming that they clear this initial preclinical stage, then the next stage will be testing the drug, or SCUBE 3, on animals on a small scale. And then after that, if it passes that stage, the next stage will be testing it on a small cohort of humans, and then after that on a large cohort of humans. So it's like preclinical stage, clinical stage, human stage, second human stage, and so on. So this is why anyone who says this is going to be, why is SCUBE 3 not on the shelves, then they're kind of in dreamland. So I've been on Amplifica's website. There's not been any press releases since June last year, and I've been on kind of Reddit and other places. There was one post on Reddit that said, I don't know if this is true, I highly doubt it, that William Rasman, one of the partners in Amplifica, said that they're kind of just running behind and there's nothing to worry about. But I don't know, Reddit is not really the most reliable source of news. So bear in mind, each one of these stages on average can take anything from 3 to 5 years. So you do the maths. So if it clears every single stage, I think at best we're looking at 10 years to completion, unless they have some sort of a neat shortcut. What could that shortcut be? If they can prove, for example, that the drug is very similar to a drug that is already on the market, and I highly doubt that's going to apply in this case because there's nothing like SCUBE 3, then that can be accelerated. The approval process can be accelerated. The other option they have is to have it approved in a country other than the US maybe Europe or the Far East or something. So they have options, but then why would you approve something that couldn't be approved in the US as a shortcut? People are not going to use it. It's quite interesting that they formed the company Amplifica specifically to develop SCUBE 3. You could ask, why did they not give the job of developing SCUBE 3 to one of the existing? There are thousands of development companies, small development companies that could have done the thing. So they've chosen to form a company themselves. So they must really see a promise in this. So I'm not too concerned yet. The critical piece will be when they announce the result of the preclinical stage. There's one thing working in favor of SCUBE 3 is when I read the initial research, I remember the professor leading the research said he envisages the final product to be like something you inject straight into the scalp. It's not going to be something you take by mouth, and typically it's a little bit easier to approve things that are applied to the skin or to the scalp versus things that are ingested. So that could accelerate things. So the final point, when do I think we're going to find out if SCUBE 3 is going to happen or not? I think this summer, by this summer, we'll know if things are going ahead, because the initial results from the preclinical trials are going to be absolutely crucial. If it clears that stage, then it's looking quite good. But even then, it's going to be at best another few years before SCUBE 3 is on the market. By the way, if you're serious about getting the benefits of something like SCUBE 3, regrowing hair naturally, you need to get on a combination of vitamin complexes and essential oils. Honestly, that is working remarkably well, and my recommended one is Foligrow, and I've left the links below in the description. I've also left a link to my email list, so make sure you join the email list. The link will be in the description below. So from sunny West London, take care and see you soon.